morning here with Public Safety Director Ambrose, Deputy Director Malave, Chief Henry from the Police Department to talk about our crime numbers year to date up to Christmas Day. We've had a rough year this year with some very high profile homicides in the city this year. It was pretty rough for us, but you know, with the help of the relationship between the Public Safety Director and the Chief, the State Police, Colonel Rick Fuentes, the Prosecutor's Office, and the great work that they do over there, even help from Fishman and the DOJ, rounding up a few guys for us. We've been able to drive the numbers down all the way up until Christmas Day, which is a good thing. We are definitely not out of the woods yet, so we're not having a victory lap. But we are happy that, when around the state of New Jersey, crime numbers have gone up. In many cities around the state of New Jersey, Newark is witnessing a different trend, and we want to continue that trend. We have a lot of work to do, but we are doing a great job. The Newark Police Department, the men and women of the Newark Police Department, have been doing an outstanding job. As a matter of fact, the productivity is up. Making the arrests that they need to make is up. Targeting hot spots in the community, people who have committed crimes. They have gone after those people relentlessly and brought many of them to justice, and many times endangered their own lives. So my hat's off to the Newark Police Department, the men and women there. Despite all of the other people that have been helping us, the folks that are on the ground are the Police Department of Newark, and they deserve any accolades that are to be given out here today for any kind of decrease that we are witnessing. So with that, I'll bring the Public Safety Director up.
Thank you, Mayor. Morning, everyone. As the Mayor said, we're not here today to claim victory, but we're here to claim progress. A year ago when I came back here to the Police Department, to the Police Division, it was kind of grim. There was the least amount of cops in my 30 years in law enforcement. There were 17,000 calls, 911 calls that weren't being answered. And this year, we're here, standing here a year later, saying that the men and women of the Newark Police Department, as the Mayor said, are owed a standing ovation for the work they've done each and every day. Also, the support of the Mayor. We had 2 classes that graduated to Police Academy in March and in July, which helped us. And what was a major help early on in January is when Colonel Fuentes and the New Jersey State Police gave us 50 troopers deployed to the city. And still today, we have 25 deployed. Our partnership with the community is important. But more importantly, the person that runs the day-to-day operation and is my partner in doing so, and I couldn't do it alone, and that's Chief Darnell Henry to my left. This is our pride, this is our mission, this is what we love to do, and the men and women and our command staff worked right alongside of us, and it's important. I'd like to mention that the Prosecutor's Office, the Sheriff's Department, our federal partners, and especially the U.S. Attorney's Office, Paul Fishman, for being a partner with us. And I have to say that some luck and some prayer helped too, to get these numbers where they're at. I don't look at it, these numbers, they're indicators for us each and every day. We have 1,300 less victims this year. We have 400 less violent crime victims. It's good, but it's still high. But we can say that we do have a change, and Newark is a safer city from 2015 to 2016. Some of the things that I highlight in 2016 was, 68 less people were shot as of today. 68 less people were shot, or you can look at a 21% reduction. But them 68 people that were not shot, less people, I give it, I the chief and I give gratitude to the shooting response team that we beefed up early on last year. That we've seen a decrease. We've seen a decrease in drug murders. We've seen a decrease in retaliatory shootings. Excuse me, not murders. So I have to say, for the men and women in that squad, they worked very hard and tirelessly all year. Our robberies, a 23% reduction. We're talking almost 300 less victims of robberies. Let's say it here. We still have significant issues that we have to get ahead of. But I have to say that we're in the right direction. We have 85 people that will be graduating from now till March that will be coming out onto the street. We still have the New Jersey State Police and our partners. So I see us going in a further positive direction for 2017. I will not highlight some of the things that the chief and I have, but I'm sure in the weeks to come we will have a press conference to tell you what our initiatives and what our plans are for 2017. That's all I have right now. Any questions?
You talked about 2017. How confident are you that a year from now you can stand here and give a repeat performance of figures like this?
Brian, if I knew that, I'd pick 6 tonight and I'd take a job in Chicago for about $1 million. We can just work hard and continue to do our strategies and use our partnerships and put the police officers where they're needed and ask the community to assist us. That's all we can do. Domestic violence, I will say that domestic violence and the aggravated assault, we had a 25% increase in domestic violence assaults. And also out of the homicides, a minimum of 10 preliminary numbers were domestic violence.
Sir, with bail reform, this new package starting January 1st, a lot of non-violent offenders will be put basically right back on the street. How do you expect that to affect these numbers?
I don't want to speak in advance, but I foresee that there can be an impact on our crime rate for 2017. Because of the fact that a lot of the individuals, I know a lot of people don't believe in small things turn into big things. Small crimes become into big crimes. For instance, like prostitution. Prostitution is not allowed in the western part of this county, but yet they would like to have it allowed in the City of Newark. Things that you can't do in smaller communities shouldn't be done in this community. And the small things become big things. So from what I'm told, when a public safety assessment is done on an individual, it'll go by his or her prior arrest, and the magnitude of them arrests, if that person's going to be arrested and remanded to the county jail. Right now, if we lock someone up for 25 decks of heroin, they're remanded to the jail for any length of time. These types of individuals, usually users, are engaged in other types of criminal activity, burglary and car thefts to feed their habit. So I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but I definitely see that there can be an increase, and we're monitoring that, and we're going to have more people probably wanted on warrants.
Director Ambrose, you mentioned Chicago. The police director there said one of the things that's causing so much crime there is the lack of trust between the police and the community. The last couple of years, of course, have been rough for police departments. I mean, how do you continue to grow that community support for the efforts that you guys are trying to put out there?
Well, I think that's why I mentioned the community. I think 1 year ago and to now, that we're not there yet, but I can tell you that we are getting there, and we are getting some buy-in, a lot of buy-in from the community and the clergy, that we're making them a partner with us. And I think it's going to take time, but I think we're moving in the right direction to build trust within the community. And also, I have to say, with the DOJ, with the consent decree monitor with us, that's something that the mayor and I and the chief welcome. And that's kind of working out pretty good, and it's a checks and balance on making sure that us and the community have a strong bond.
I have a question for the mayor, if you don't mind. A lot of mayors who served the city before you did would have loved to have today's storyline. Specifically, how did you do it?
Well, these guys did it. I didn't do anything special. the public safety director, the chief of police, state police, the county prosecutor's office, U.S. attorney's office. I think it was, the fact that people began to come together in a concerted effort, put a lot of energy around community and police relationships, put a lot of energy around making sure the community felt like they could report crime without being hurt or violated, that they had a relationship to City Hall, relationship to the police department where they felt like they could come forward, that they were a part of the keeping the community and the city safe, that they're a part of it. And we have a tremendous amount of work to do in this city. We are nowhere near even close to where we need to be. And there's been times in the past that numbers have dropped. What we want to do is make it consistent. And that's what we're working for, make sure it's consistent every year, that we have a continual drop every single year. When we have that, the year after that, then I'll come out with my victory hat on. But today I don't have one of those. I'm just grateful for the fact that we're trending downward.
I guess, is there something specific that you could point to? Was it officers getting out of the squad cars and sort of working the streets?
Well, I would say it was a number of things. So we had police officers walking the beats in the street. We had a shooting protocol. They beefed up numbers around the shots fired. They responded to shots fired like they were homicides, right? Began to investigate those, stopping the retaliatory kind of shootings that are going on in the city. Different kind of protocols around that helped us. The state police in our community obviously helped us. The U.S. attorney making arrests with the state police and the county making huge arrests in the city obviously helped us as well. So there are a number of things, and I think an increased kind of police presence in the community and people feeling like they can talk when it was time for them to talk and not hiding, right? And us reaching out to the community and saying, we need you to be a part of this process. It's not just a police problem or the mayor's problem. It's all of our problem. It's your neighborhood, your community. When you see something, say something. And I think people have been doing that.
How does this help development? I mean, we're starting to see a lot of buildings go up, a lot of redevelopment. When you send this message out, how does it help, spur more of that business?
Well, I always have a different point of view on that, but I believe that businesses are going to come to Newark anyway. So I don't think that businesses don't come to Newark because they see the newspaper or the TV reporting crime. I mean, they went to Brooklyn, they went to Harlem, they went to the Bronx. Businesses come if they think they can make money. If there's a dense population, if there is, the market is available for them to make money, they're going to come. What we've been doing is inviting them and making it inviting for them to be here, right? And to make sure that the areas that they're in, that we are showing that progressively we're attacking crime, that we're establishing relationships with the community. Those things help. They expedite it, they make it faster. I mean, Newark has over $2 billion worth of development happening right now in the city. And, we don't have the best, crime numbers in the country, right? But we're trending downward. So that helps us out a little bit, but I don't think it chases, people who want to do business away.
Mayor, do you think that, you go out in the community virtually every day, do you think that people out there appreciate these statistics yet, or do they still consider crime out of control?
Well, it depends on who you talk to and where they live and the perception that they have. Perceptions are created by, what they hear and see every day. Basically what comes out of what you guys report and, what they feel about what's happening in the city. Sometimes it's not based on reality, it's based on, what they feel. And then some people live in neighborhoods where the reality is people are getting shot and robbed, right? The fact that the numbers are going down doesn't mean it does not happen. So people are still going to feel, some type of way about the crime in their city, and they should, right? That we're not saying that people should automatically say, Newark is like the safest city in the country. We have to get there, and we need their help for us to get there. So there are obviously going to be people who feel like, my neighborhood is still rough. My neighborhood is still bad. You live on some parts of the city who never see a violent crime at all in a year. 80% of the city doesn't experience a violent crime at all. So there are people in the city who have never seen violent crimes on their block. So you asking them, they may have a different perspective of somebody who lives in a neighborhood where it happens most of the time.
Director, can I ask you another question?
Sure.
When you talk about retaliatory killings, shootings, that's what Chicago has been going through, and and it is literally out of control by all measurements. Why aren't, what has happened specifically in Newark to reduce the number of retaliatory shootings among basically lawless people who can get guns?
Well, basically, Brian, is we transferred in about 30 extra detectives into the shooting response team a year ago, the chief and I. What happens is, as quick as they're getting involved in a shooting, we're treating it like a homicide. We're sending out intelligence people, we're sending out a team of detectives. So we were very instrumental in raising our clearance rate and taking these people off the street before they did their second shooting or a murder. You know, I look at we talk about it, the mayor, me, and the chief, we talk about shootings all the time. You know, 68 less people shot. A shooting is a murder that went bad. So I think that's why our hats go off to all the men and women of the police department. But the shooting response team were very instrumental in reducing violent crime and making less shooting victims because they're getting the shooter off the street quicker.
Will that, obviously that effort's going to continue into 2017. In your opinion, does it need to be beefed up even more, or is it just that particular aspect?
It's going to be.
Good enough, that aspect only?
We can always do better, and the chief, I'm laughing because the chief asked me just this morning, he said let's put some more people in the shooting team. And yes, there are going to be, now with the class graduating of 85 by March, 65 will be sworn in next week. We intend on putting more walking patrols and definitely putting more police officers in the precincts and more detectives in the shooting response team.
How many cops do you have in total?
Just under almost 1,000.
Compared to last year?
Last year this time we had about almost 800.
Is that, what is there, it's supposed to be 3 cops per 10,000?
Yeah, that's what they say.
And you meet that?
Almost. No, not yet.
How many cops do you think?
You know, it's tough to say, but I always go back to, you know, it was 10 years ago when I was here, we had 1,450 cops. At one time, we had almost close to 1,700 cops. So I think that some of the things, so we can always use more cops here, definitely, because in the areas where we put the cops, we had significantly drastic reduction in violence and crime. I think in 2017, which you'll hear from us in a few weeks, that we're going to count on more technology and cameras, you know, to help so we can redeploy the officers in certain areas and use cameras in other areas.
Here's a question for the chief. Whenever crime stats, crime numbers are down, you automatically assume that cops are being tougher on criminals. Has it been a challenge for you to make sure that your men and women sort of balance being aggressive and also respectful to the communities that you serve?
Yes, we definitely believe in treating the community with respect and dignity. And, you know, my motto and the director's motto is, you know, you treat them like they're your family, you know, and you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong doing that.
Chief, the director just said you asked will there be more detectives to help solve the shooting cases and improve the clearance rate. What else did you ask him for?
Well, I don't want to, you know, give out a lot of secrets right now because we, you know, like the director said, the mayor said, we have a lot of work to do. And, you know, we've been pushing the men and women on this job real hard, daily, night. He don't sleep, I don't sleep, the mayor don't sleep. We 24/7. So, you know, like I said, like they said, we take our hats off to the men and women out here, the rank and file, that's been helping us along with this whole process.
What's the budget for the police department? Will that go up in 2017?
Well, I'm not going to start talking numbers about the budget. You know, you're going to have the other parts of the city trying to harass me about the money they get. It's significant. I would tell you that. Police and fire and public safety is always significant, particularly in large cities. They make up a lion's share of the budget, you know, in terms of us trying. Well, obviously it's going to increase if we hire more police officers. That's what's going to make it increase, the manpower. You increase the manpower, the budget is going to increase automatically based on the amount of people that you have. The minute we start getting into the point where we're not just replacing police officers, we're adding police officers on, then the budget increases, you know, at least the foundation part of the budget increases based on that. But it does help. If we have more officers, it helps us save in overtime and other kinds of costs as well. And then we start doing using technology that would also help us save, in the police department as well. So we are trying to be efficient but effective at the same time. So the budget is very large. Just, I do want to say, I didn't get a chance to say that, there's other kind of measures that we're out here, involved in. Newark Community Street Team, the Street Academy, those kinds of programs that we're trying to reach out to these guys who are traditionally involved in these kinds of crimes and pulling them into society and through a different way, either by GED training, job training, skills training, and by interrupting what we think is personal disputes between individuals in the community that helps us reduce the kind of shootings that take place. So we're working on two sides of this thing, trying to make sure we have a balance to have the kind of short-term gains and long-term gains. But, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out, though. And, hopefully we'll have another press conference like this next year. God bless.